So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to keep you out in the cold very much longer. You've seen the British Army's appearance. Bring them on, Sergeant, if you wouldn't mind. I'll just mention very quickly. Sir, can you come forward, please, sir? We talked about the other ranks that joined the army. We should have perhaps mentioned before and didn't. The infantry officer. Now, in the Great War, the infantry officer was an upper-class chap from the right school. If you were on a list of particular public schools, you could apply for a commission with a damning chance of getting it. And young Cobden here is the typical example of a young man just out of school, perhaps he's at university, fancies going in the army, applies for a commission and gets it. Little military experience, they gain it at their sergeants, their warrant officers and their senior officers. Officers, you see, in 1914 cut a very different figure to the infantryman himself. His uniform is basically purchased by him. When a private soldier joins the army, his uniform is issued. An officer buys his own. The better tailor he attends, the better the cut of his cloth. Now, there's no more appreciation of the cut of an officer's cloth than a German marksman, who is told, aim at the ones with thin legs, because the officers all have these rather well-cut breeches. So, in an attack, the German marksman will pick on these young chaps first. They'll see their thin, lightened legs and the fact that they're wearing a well-cut uniform with leather equipment and probably a revolver. You want to flourish that revolver, sir?
Certainly, Sergeant Major.
There we go, the Webley 455, a big heavy revolver, a man stopper if ever there was one. If you get hit from that at close range, you are falling over and there's very little you can do about it. So, the officers go to war like this in 1914. Very quickly, they decide that a uniform far more like the other men is far more desirable. By 1917, 1918, an officer looks very, very similar to the men that he commands. Many of them will carry rifles instead of revolvers for the unanimity that gives them. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a quick microcosm of Tommy in the Great War. We'd like you to join us now with 3 rousing cheers for His Majesty King George V. And then I and a few of our comrades here will deal with any questions you might have, and we can stay here as long as you like. So, gentlemen, order! Arms! Remove headdress! Ladies and gentlemen, please join in. 3 rousing cheers for His Majesty King George V. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Thank you very much. The close headdress. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching and it does not the 10th Essex Great War Living History Group. We are always recruiting for all types of soldier. Pay rates are appalling, but the social life is marvellous. So if I have any applications to join, they can be addressed to myself or, in fact, Mr. Cotton. Thank you very much for your attention. Any questions you have, we'll take them now. Call them out, Sergeant. Oh! Up! You can go and have a pull on any of them.